What is up guys, it's Ruben from where2.host, and today we'll be doing a shared web hosting review for iPage. We'll be going from sign up all the way through to getting the hosted website up and running. Let's do this. Here we are on iPage's home page. We can see that they're already starting to offer some nice specials, but we're looking for the shared web hosting, which is allocated here. Here we have the essential plan. This is one unfortunate aspect, is that iPage doesn't actually give us multiple plans to choose from. They just assume that their essential plan will cover it. Nothing special, we register our domain and then we continue. They inform us that ipg-demo.where2.host, our subdomain, domain and extension, will be live in just a few minutes. Got our contact information and our payment information. Here is our purchase information. As you see, $2. They tricked us. We actually only want for 1 year, 12 months, $2.99. Obviously we've got the 30-day money back guarantee with over $450 in marketing credits. That's actually quite a big deal. We've got instant activation, and setup fee is free. Website essentials, we've got WordPress, SSL certificate, site protection, Google Apps, backup and build mobile. We do not need any of these, seeing that it's just going to be a demo site. So there's no point in having all those additional features. And here we've got like a little mini terms of service thing going on. And then we've got our terms of service, cancellation policy and our privacy policy, which I'm going to go read now. And then I'm going to enter my contact information, my payment information, and then I will bring you guys back. Here we have our control panel. Obviously the first feature that you'll notice is the My Favorites. This you won't have the first time you load. It's sort of a build up. It's actually just a little bit more of a history, because it's not really based on how many times you click something. It's just the last thing you kind of clicked on. But it is nice if you log out, log back in, it remains there. So that's cool. We've got all our website stuff, our website installing scripts, Weebly, WordPress, etc. Got emails, we've got our Mail Central, webmail, we've got our domains, we've got our Google tools, some analytics and Google Apps. Obviously we didn't purchase that because we had no need for it. Yeah, we've got our marketing. This is where we can go spend that $450 they promised us. And here's our additional tools. And then last but not least, we've got our account information. Here, if you look, we've got our disk usage and our bandwidth. Here's some system information of the server, all that much needed information. You can actually show more, quite a few things to be seen. They've got an ad here, which is a little bit there. There's a marketplace where you can get themes or products, or any stuff for your website. Here's domains if you want to have another domain. And just here's a few shortcuts. At the top here, we'll notice they've just got these few drop downs, which is quite cool. Reason being, doesn't matter where you are, you can easily just go to exactly where you need to go. So you don't have to go back and forth between cPanel. That was pretty nice. Now we get to choose what is our first website that we want to go. We can go website builder, Weebly, WordPress, maybe CM for all. I'm gonna go with website builder. Reason being, not too many web hosting companies have it, and I really quite enjoyed it last time, so website builder it is. It's loading it up for us. Yes, I would like to get started, thank you. Yes, at once this domain was used by Weebly. It is no longer the case, but I was playing around a bit with it. We choose the domain which we would like to install the site on, and there it goes and does all the magic for us. I believe they're using Mojo Marketplace to install all these scripts, like such as Weebly and WordPress. And now we can choose our template. We've got here category, we are computers and technology. Now I was taking a look at some of these templates, and I found one that I think is pretty cool. It's not everyone's cup of tea, but it looks kind of badass, to be quite honest. It's loading the editor for us, and voila, there's our epic website up and running. And that was pretty simple. How easy was that? Now the real test is we're just gonna save this and then publish, and then we'll see if it is up and running instantly. And that's pretty much the gist of it. Yes, I would like to publish my site. It is busy publishing, it's doing all the hard work for us. And they've just informed us that it is indeed live. So let's go take a look. And there you have it. We've got a site up and running in no time. Now we can just edit it and have fun however we want to. Main point is that we have a website up and running in just a simple few clicks. I literally didn't even have to type anything in. And now that we've got a website up, what we will want to do is actually delete this website and then FTP our tester site in, so we can do some testing and then we can see the speed. Got our site here, we want the options, delete. Alright, and now our website has been deleted. We've got no use for this tab, so what we're going to do is we need to FTP, and you see that's kind of the nice thing about this drop down. I didn't have to go to cPanel, just go straight to FTP, so we can get all the login details, etc. Alright, we see here's our username. We can just copy that. Obviously we get all of our FTP details in the email that they send us. They do mention to us that how to connect. They give a little explanation, but it's not so fully fledged. If I was somebody who didn't know about FTP, I would not know how to go about that whatsoever. Because our domain is hosted elsewhere and not with iPage, we actually have to go grab the IP address instead of the FTP address that they give us, and then I'm going to fill in my password, and my port is 21, and then we can connect. And here we have it. I see the website builder is still there. It's a bit odd. Thought we deleted it. That's not cool. I thought we deleted it. Anyways, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to delete the website builder, and then I'm going to FTP our tester site in, and then we can start doing some testing. So the files have been FTP'd in, but once I actually went to take a look on it, when I loaded up my ipg-demo.where-to.host URL, it gave me a 404. So something was wonky there. So I did some looking around, and if I went here to domain central, and you take a look at the domain in question, if you go look at pointers, our pointer was still pointing towards the web builder subdomain. So that was a bit wonky. Yeah, luckily I was just able to see this and actually know what a pointer is, but people who don't know websites, then they're gonna have a really rough time. So that actually means that the so-called website builder delete didn't actually delete it. So that was not cool. But anyways, luckily I was able to figure it out. And now if you check here, we've got our website, our demo site up and running. It is there and it is ready for testing. So as per normal, web page test and GT metrics. Grab our URL, start the test, and there you go. We can see that the load time was 1.78 seconds, start render 0.79, repeated view was 0.19, and the start render 0.35, which is pretty good scores. Always rerun the test just to make sure, because a lot of the web hosting companies, the way they set up their caching is it's done in sort of a learning curve. So the cacher actually learns what to cache and what not. So sometimes the first test or two can be a bit slow, but then after that it gets its head in the game, so to speak. Alright, it's quite constant, minor differences, much higher start render, got a load time, it's quite stable, it's not jumping like tremendously, it's not like, you know, it was 1 second and now it's 0.1, so looking pretty good. Here's our waterfall and a waterfall for the repeated view, content breakdown, etc, etc. Now we go over to look at GT metrics. They don't do browser caching, so when you leverage your browser caching, that ultimately means you set an expiration date for it. Looks like they don't do that by default. We did write an article on that, as we've seen before, so we will fix that in just a second. However, our images are not being compressed, so they don't compress your images, and by default there's no leveraging on the browser caching, so there's no expiration date. Content delivery, we can actually ignore this one completely, but the expiration headers are not set, and then that gives us our score. What I'm going to do now, however, I'm going to go here, got the htaccess file, we're going to edit it, alright. They do have some sort of expiration control, weird though, very interesting. They actually do have caching set, but it doesn't seem to have worked. Maybe it's a different kind of caching. I'm really not too sure on the subject. We are however going to change that 1 month or 1 year to 1 month rather. Alright, we've changed it all to 1 month. Now we're going to save, yes. And now let's just rerun the test and see if that has actually fixed our leverage browser caching issue. That's super wonky, like super wonky. Alright, so even after putting in the caching, it still gives us this. So I don't know what the deal is. I'm not too sure maybe where I should be editing it now. I can only think of one place. Saw in additional tools they have the htaccess editor, but we already saw in the htaccess file that there were headers being set. So the htaccess file has caching, and yet seems to have an issue. I'm gonna have to take a look around for a bit. I don't know what the issue is. I don't know why it's not caching it. I'm not too sure. This one got me.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine when you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never understand.
Alright guys, we are back. What has happened is I've let a day pass, and I thought maybe for some reason even the htaccess file was being cached so that the new changes would not load. Not the case. For some reason, whatever I put into the htaccess file just doesn't do anything. I don't know why, I don't know exactly how their thing works or whatever. I even changed the images out, you know, sort of force refreshed the cache. Still nothing. So I don't know exactly what's going on, what happened. But now moving over to the things that I liked and the things that I did not like of iPage. So obviously what I really liked was the ability to register with my subdomain. That was nice. It added a bit of customization. You know, I didn't have to go through any effort of first registering it with the domain, then add the subdomain. So that I enjoyed. And also what I really enjoyed was the drop down menu here, this little green navigation bar. The drop downs here, it actually at first it seemed a bit redundant. You know, I'm like, okay, well, we've got the stuff here, why is it here now as well? But as I actually started to use the site more and more, it actually made life quite easier, because it sort of took away that thing of having to go to cPanel, then back again, and so that made it quite nice. At first I didn't notice, obviously, but later on I saw, hey, this is actually really quite useful, and I enjoyed that. Also here on the cPanel, we've got a video walkthrough. I'm not going to show it to you guys, but it's very nice and it's actually really helpful. It really explains the cPanel quite nicely. If I was a first time user and I didn't know how to use the cPanel, then watching that video would actually give me a lot of information. Honestly, if I think about it, all the information I actually need to know how to use the cPanel. Also, I really enjoyed the htaccess and the web cache tool. Obviously, we ran into some issues with the caching, the expiration headers set, and etc. But the fact that they have the htaccess editor is really nice, and I've did some testing with it. If I had to remove the htaccess file and I went to my htaccess editor and I said, okay, well, just add this one line in, it would create the file for me based on the directory that I choose. So that was quite cool. Along with the web caching tool, also if you deleted the file, it would then recreate it and add the caching. One slight issue with the caching tool, it's got a maximum of 24 hours on caching, which that's a bit short. Normally I'd think like caching would be 2-3 days, you know, to a week. So having a max of 24 hours wasn't the best, but I still enjoy the fact that they gave me that option and they made caching setup, you know, how things are cached, what is cached, made it quite easy to use, and it gave the user a lot more control, especially for someone who doesn't know any coding practices. They don't know what the htaccess file even is or what it does, then that adds something quite nice in. Something that I really liked was the sidebar here for the system information. You can see here we've got our system settings, website IP address, all the useful information. They even have a show more where they show you all the Perl versions, the PHP versions, all that kind of stuff. And then obviously we've got our disk usage, how much have we used, and our bandwidth. Okay, so this is 100% a personal preference, but I love this green. I like green a lot, so having this green navigation bar, I liked it. And so yeah, and it wasn't like too bright, it wasn't too dark green, it was like a nice, I don't know, I enjoyed it, I liked it. So yeah, but that's a very personal preference. And now the things that I did not like. I really did not enjoy the fact that they only had one package to choose from. Customization flew out the window there. I mean, at least give me something that's scalable. You know, at least have an option where, okay, we limit you in these aspects, or less features for a less price. That just would have made my life a whole lot better, because now I'm paying, let's say for the year you're paying $5 for features that you don't use. It's still $5. Like, just give us packages that are custom to the user. So if I'm a small company and I'm just starting up and I just want a very, very basic, simple thing, then I don't want to have to pay for something that a somewhat larger company would also use. You know, have that scalability. Now, something that I really was not cool for me was the ads here on the side. And I'm just like, listen, I'm already paying you. I'm already paying to host with you. Now you want to throw me with ads, you know? It isn't bombarding, or it's not like in your face or anything, but the fact that it's there is very annoying, because I'm paying you. Normally you would actually, like, let's say if you go to the Apple Store or the Play Store, then you pay, like, let's say it's an app, you can use it for free, but then there's ads, and then, okay, $1 to get rid of the ads. A lot of times I would actually do that, just pay the $1, get rid of the darn ads. So yeah, the fact that I'm already paying them and I still have to see ads, not that cool. The FTP information that is given, I feel like the structure of it is a bit off. If I was somebody who had no idea about what FTP is, you know, I didn't know how to use it or how to set it up. But the information that they give you here, it's a bit wonky. Like, I know what it takes to set up FTP, and it still took me a few seconds to look around the page and be like, okay, well, there's that, and there's that. Oh, okay, here's all the information that I need. So that was, yeah. I really feel like they could have just shown it a bit better. They do, however, make up a bit with their configure your site using Qt FTP. The tutorial that they give, that actually does help a lot, but I really feel like they just need to consider doing a refactor, because as a coder I know that to get this in, to display that, why don't you just display it here as well as like a little drop down saying, okay, well, here's your host address, here's your username, and here's a port that you use. I mean, for port they don't even tell you. Maybe it's port 8832, maybe it's port 2124. You know, that was not cool for me. I really feel like they need to do a little refactor on that. And obviously, last but not least, the caching issue that appeared. I don't know how their servers was set up. Maybe they I've no idea, but even after adding or even after editing the htaccess file, for some reason it just didn't work. And granted, it could very well have been something that I did wrong, but I've got some experience in web hosting, and yet it just didn't want to work for me, and I struggled with it. And it's not nice to struggle. A person never wants to struggle, so I can just imagine somebody who's got no idea about this kind of stuff, how they're gonna feel. Obviously, people who have no idea about web hosting, they're probably not going to even bother with the htaccess file, because that is for somewhat advanced users. But still, you know, I mean, let's say an intermediate level person, then what are they going to do? How are they going to figure it out, you know? And I can't go see their server setup, I just have to assume things. So that added a bit of a dent. I don't like to struggle. That's the truth. I feel like web hosting should be easy and smooth and simple. They should really go out of their way to try and make it as easy and smooth and simple as possible. And it just didn't work. Along with the fact that when we deleted our web builder site, it wasn't deleted, and then the pointer was still pointing to the subdomain, and you know, stuff like that. So that was a bit wonky for me. Maybe it's not even on their site, maybe it's got to do with the Mojo marketplace that was buggy there or something. But obviously it affected me, it affected the overall feel, and something I did not like. Well, that does it for today's review of iPage. I hope you guys now have a better idea of who you would want to host your website.